Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to be filming my March 2023 book log. Basically, one slipped out here. I wanted to update the books that I read this month, which was I think more than any other month so far. And I'm really excited to share my spread for this month. This is my best of 2023 and you'll find out soon which made my top book for the month. But here's kind of like a sneak peek of January, February, or a look back, I guess. And yeah, I wanted to start out in March. So for this month, I had an idea that I wanted to write a little bit more than I typically do for my little excerpts here. So I think I'm going to use my A6 stencil here, this box over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a curved, probably a straight one here. And if you're new to my channel, I basically like to print out little book covers. I tried to do this ahead of time for books that were on my shelf or on my to be read list. So I had some and I printed some that I knew I was reading this month. And in terms of the books that I read, I almost threw this 10th book here, but 10 books for March. So I am really proud of this. I think this is maybe my first or second time ever hitting 10 books. And I did a combination of physical books along with Kindle books. So I kind of simultaneously read 2 books at the same time. So that was kind of how I worked my way through this here. So let's get started. I'm going to use some craft paper. And, you know, I've been really liking this sort of outline on the outside. I'm probably going to do a similar layout here, unless I do the sides. I think I'll do the center. It gives me a little bit more space. So I'm going to do is start out by ripping some paper. I don't want it to be on the thin side. And I think I want to see a little bit of the raw edge. So I ripped it and then I flipped it so that I could see this kind of gradient right here. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a glue stick. If you've been following my reading journal videos, you'll know that I'm not actually the biggest fan of this glue stick, but you know, it's what I have and what I've been using. Obviously I haven't updated yet, so it's not too bad. And I'm just going to line it to the top here, get it as lined up as I can from like an eyeball standpoint, and then quickly soon after I'm going to fold the page because I don't want it to be too far off. There we go. Perfect. All right, and let's see here. Just going to kind of score that with my fingernail. All right, so that looks pretty good. And let's see, do I want, you know, I don't think I'm going to line too many other things here. We're just going to keep it pretty clean. And let me get an 08 micron pen. So I actually have my little mild liner pen scissor cup right there. Very handy. And now I'm just going to take this ruler edge and draw a line across the top here with an 08 micron pen. I will be filling everything in with a, let's go a little bit higher up there, with the 01 micron pen in terms of writing, my thoughts, etc., things like that. But I wanted to do this outer border. Oops, I actually need to get a new pen. This is kind of dulling out a little bit. There we go. Okay, and it's actually a little bit off, so I'm going to tilt back just a tad, and we can always connect later. Oh, it's so much smoother without having the craft paper in the way. Let's see, am I on camera? Perfect. So I feel like I started doing this. If you're interested in seeing how I started my reading journal, I have some videos up on my channel. Maybe I'll link those down below. But basically, I sort of did this border on previous pages, and I thought it would be cool to kind of carry that throughout my reading journal. And who knows how long I end up keeping a reading journal for. I don't know what this tape is doing here. Sorry, guys. I started it this year by backdating 2022 because I had logged all the books that I was reading. There we go. And so far in 2023, I've been kind of continuing on. So I've been really proud of myself. And honestly, since it's like my first time doing a reading journal, I actually feel like it encourages me to keep reading and kind of keeping track of the books that I've read, because otherwise it sort of gets lost in the jumble and then you sort of have no idea. So really happy with this reading journal that I've been doing. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is add some little headers here for March. Let's just do that right there. I think this time I'm going to probably spell out March. Sometimes I'll abbreviate. I think last month I abbreviated. Yeah. So I'm going to spell the whole thing out. But yeah, while I was reading this month, I came across some really intense books. Like, yeah, some very, very intense reads. I'm actually part of this Facebook group. 2 Facebook groups, a psychological thriller Facebook group along with a book talk one. And you know, I don't really necessarily read the synopsis of the book before diving into one. I'll just kind of see what people are rating as their 5-star reads, and if a bunch of people are like, oh wow, that was like amazing, then I'll go ahead and read it. And ideally, if I can get into it without knowing what it's about, that's kind of more fun for me. All right, let's see here. Is there anything that I can put? Collect beautiful moments. Ooh, I like that. But you know what? If I put this on the white piece of paper, or this, you know, the backdrop here, it's just going to blend right in. And if I put it right there, it's just going to blend right in. So that means I'm actually going to grab some washi tape here. Gonna do maybe some of this here, and do a little tag on the bottom here. Sorry, this is kind of a plan as I go day, so hopefully you guys have your planners out as well and are planning along or filling out your book journals, or if you're just kind of watching as background noise, that works too. And there we go, just like that. You see how that's like such a beautiful pop. Perfect. So we don't need too many things on this page because I plan to do a lot of writing. So basically, yeah, I'm not going to add so many decorations this time. Okay, so let's get started. So I have my little list here, and let's get started on the books. So the first one I read was The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I rated 4 stars. And you know, if you, oh, that's Under the Whispering Door, sorry. That's actually, so House on the Cerulean Sea is the first book, and then Under the Whispering Door is the second book, but I have not read this one yet. I don't even think they're related, but don't quote me on that. But let's put that one there. The Housemaid 2, which was a book that I was waiting for to come out. I read the first one and thought it was an amazing book. Actually kind of continues on the story, which, you know, I read Housemaid 1 first, and it was a little while back, so I kind of forgot that it was going to continue on. So I read like a quarter of the book, forgetting that this was a continuation of the original story. So that was a little bit silly. Saving Noah. Oh, this one was so, this is a very traumatic book to read, I think. Well, traumatic's probably the wrong word. It was intense. I would just say it was extremely intense, especially being a mother and having my own son. Like, I just felt like, oh my gosh, this poor family. If you're interested, I recommend it. It is a little bit of a sensitive topic, but it was very well written. And yeah, that one got 5 stars for me. Would I have read it if I had read the synopsis? Probably not, just because it's like, oh my gosh, it's like sometimes reading things that not necessarily could happen to you, but like, oh, if you have like similar family situations in terms of your mom or you have a son, not even that like close, but it can be a little triggering. So The Surrogate Mother, that was really good, entertaining, read that really fast. Love Frida McFadden books. On a Quiet Street, that was okay for me. I wasn't super impressed with the twist at the end, but I did read that pretty quickly. Namesake, which is actually the second book in kind of like a, not a fantasy series, but it's a 2-book series. And I think because I read the first one so long ago, it took me a little while to get into it. But after I was into it, I thought it was like, okay. So I gave that one 3 stars. Keep It in the Family is a super dark, twisted psychological thriller. I also did not read the synopsis of this before, but after chapter 1, like the last sentence, I remember being like, oh my gosh, what is this about? That sounds like really good. A Thousand Boy Kisses. This one was, I think this is like a book talk, super popular book. Pretty sad. I didn't cry like everyone. I read about like they cry on this novel. I didn't cry, but it did make me feel things. So that's pretty good. That was intense. I actually really thought that was very, very well written. The Arrangement, read that one without really knowing what it was about. Basically, it's like a family or a couple who decide to sort of have like an open marriage, and then it takes like a twist, a turn. And it was unexpected. So I gave this one 4 stars. It was a really quick read. There's actually 2 to 3 other books in this set, which I'm on book 2 right now. Not sure if I love it as much as that one. It's taking sort of a weird turn. Oops. So yeah, so we'll see if I continue on that one. And then in a physical hard copy book, the last book of the month was the Book of Living Secrets. And I'm still reading this. I'm almost done, but I think by the time I'm done, that'll still be into March. So filming this a little bit early before the end of the month. Okay, perfect. So let's see. We read 10 books this month, or I did, I guess. So I'm going to probably put 5 per page. I'm trying to figure out if I should stagger. Oh, and I want to do like this, but maybe I don't have enough space. I'll probably have to come up this way. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. I need 5 spots, so let's take a look here. Let's see, I'm just going to line the top borders of the stencil. And again, I'm using a 08 book here. I think I'm going to run out of space. Maybe I'll have to like change up the blocks. Okay, this is not super ideal for me. I don't love when I have to do different directions, but let's see if it works out. Okay, 3, 4, 5. No, that's weird. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't really love this. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. Maybe in the end, I'll like how this, I'm sure I will like how this turns out. But anyway, I'm going to put the extra books that I didn't read just yet back into this very front pocket so that I can have them ready for next time. I probably should move these aside. I have a list here of the order that I read them in, so I can kind of put those to the side there. And let's see, if I did this here, I'd have a lot of space. Maybe if I did that. I'm trying to like find a way to space it. So I'm using the bottom of this edge and the left-hand side over here to line it up. That allows me to make these boxes the same. So I'm going to put this one right at the bottom over here, line up the side of this here. That gives me like perfect spacing, I guess, without having to like measure and do so many things. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's not bad. You know what I'm going to do? All right, so I'm going to shift these over. Oh, what a mess. Okay, put this there. I'm going to, instead of doing the same thing, I'm going to mirror image this. So we'll just have to approximately line that up like this. And since the pages are the same size and I'm using the same stencil, technically this should all line up, but you know, we'll see. We shall see. Okay, good. All right, and let's see. This one we're gonna have to eyeball a little because I kind of did it. Oh, you know, I had it like this. There we go. Let's see, does that look correct? Maybe it's like that. Actually, let me line up how much space. Oh, I did it right to the top. Oh, good thing. Good thing. I was like, did I really eyeball that? Okay, so I'm glad I measured to the opposite side because clearly I just lined those two things up. And then I use this to measure. So this is a very easy way to make sure your layout is going to be the same on both sides. Super easy. Again, I'm taking this edge right at the bottom of this here, lining up this corner here, and just tracing. Oh, I'm going to be close to my quote. Didn't think that one through. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's fine. That's perfect. Okay, for some reason, doesn't this look close? Oh, you know what? I lined it up incorrectly here. That's okay. So, you know, nothing's perfect. This is your own reading log, as you can see. I make mistakes too, and it's totally okay. So, the next thing I'm going to do is take a mild liner, and all I'm going to do is do a small highlight on the lower left side. Oops, I just realized my glue was uncapped, so let's close that. A drop shadow, basically. So I'm just going to shift it down just a little so that I can do a drop shadow on the lower left, just like that. So it's so simple and so minor, and sometimes I think, oh, do I really need to do that? But trust me, it adds a lot to these spreads. So just gonna go like this, perfect. And since I'm already horizontal, we'll just keep going with these and then switch over to the other ones in a second. All right, just like that, just line it up carefully. Very nice. And yeah, as you can see, it does add a little bit of something extra. Nothing crazy, but it does appear to have the boxes like floating out a little. I typically like to use like a gray color. This is a lighter gray. I do have a darker one that I sometimes use as well, which would actually make your boxes pop even more, but I think I wanted something a little bit subtle here. All right, very good. Okay, so those are my boxes. So now I'm going to get to my best of 2023 and basically revealing which book I thought was the best of the month. And this one goes to 1,000 Boy Kisses. So I'm going to put that one right in the center here. That was my top book for March. So let's put that one here. All right, very good. And you know, Housemaid's Secret, I don't know why the cover printed the same. Oh, you know what? I put the, so this was actually, I need to switch this. Should be the blue cover. So I'll do that later. But I was like, why is my March read a January favorite? So caught a mistake there. All right. So what I'm going to do next is tag the book up here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to shift it up a little bit outside of the box this time. Last time I put it right inside, as you can see. But I think because I plan to write a little bit more for these, I think it would be kind of cool if it was like sticking up just a little. Yeah, that looks actually really nice. So excited about that. Let's see, Housemaid 2, have to remember to change the first one. I don't know how I made that mistake in my best of section. Okay, that looks really cool. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like that. Saving Noah was a third one. Yeah, this book was really intense for me. So, you know, my strategy of not reading the synopsis is interesting because I guess I'm reading books that I wouldn't necessarily pick up myself. So just going on like blind faith. I don't know if you guys like to do that. So it's kind of like a surprise, I guess, since we have no idea what to expect. All you know is that people felt some kind of way about it, which I kind of enjoyed that part about it. So I don't know though. Maybe it's a warning. Maybe I should be reading a little bit. Oops, a little tilted. Good thing with the glue stick, you have a couple seconds to shift it around if it's not perfect. All right, namesake, let's see here. Okay, very good. I'm really loving this idea of having it peek up just a little bit. I think I'm going to continue that on. It just gives you a little bit more space, but also it kind of adds, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think it adds something to it. Looks cool to me. So yeah, if you guys are reading or keeping reading journals or watching this video and you have a title that you haven't seen in my reading list, if you could please let me know. I am always on the hunt for new books. What was that next one I was gonna read? A Midnight Sky. It's like from the author of Twilight. I'm totally butchering the title of the name, but I thought it was supposed to be from Edward's perspective. And I haven't read Twilight in years, so I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy it, but I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I bought the book. It's like I had the physical copy. So I put that downstairs next to my reading corner as something that I would read next. But I should probably look into what it's about a little bit more thoroughly before describing a book that might not even be what the story is about. All right, very good. Great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start filling this in, and then I will get back to you at the end. You can see the final look. All right, so I filled out most of the I guess my thoughts on these books here. I left this one open just because I'm almost done. I'm filming this a few days before the end of March, so I have a little bit more time to fill this in. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. Subscribe, comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. If you have any books that you didn't see in this spread that you think I must read this year, definitely let me know. I'm always looking for recommendations. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.